Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome back to the Success Series Talks. Talks designed to help you get what you want out of life. Remember to listen, take notes, and most importantly, act. We often talk about the steps we need to take to accomplish an objective. This is because we want to learn new things that will help us and put more of the positive into our lives. However, there is another side. Sometimes we need to unlearn things or get rid of the negative. It doesn't do much good to add a ton of money coming into your life if you don't get rid of the habit of spending everything you earn each month. You will never get ahead this way. There are a lot of things that successful people do that contribute to their success and happiness. However, there are also a lot of things they don't do. And I would be willing to bet that some of these things are things that you are currently doing, and they may be holding you back. While you should incorporate some of the things they do, you should also eliminate from your life some of the things they don't do. This combination of inviting more positive into your life and getting rid of the negative will increase your ability to succeed at your goals. Number 1, they don't focus on what they do wrong, but rather they talk about how they can improve. Some of you may be wondering what the difference is. So for example, some of you go through a list of things you did wrong at your job, like, I didn't give a good presentation today. That would be focusing on a problem. Instead, focus on how to improve by saying, I didn't do well at my presentation today. I think I need to work on intentional pauses for effect. So one of these leads you to think horrible things about yourself, which is more likely to lead to failure again. And the other one leads you to solve a problem that is completely within your control. So the next time the situation comes up, you will be happier with the result. You can practice it and get what you want. If you know there is a problem with something at work, instead of complaining about it every day, think of a solution. Make it a habit to never complain about a problem you see, whether it is your own or someone else's, unless you have some possible solutions. This can also be applied to your personal life when dealing with family and friends. Number 2, they don't say, I can't afford it. This isn't because they have plenty of money and so they can afford anything they want to, but it is because they know that that is a negative mindset. Instead, they ask themselves the question, how can I afford this? This does 2 things. First, it reaffirms in their minds that it is possible, and secondly, it starts their minds, which loves to find solutions, working on an answer to help them afford it. So the next time you find yourself saying, I can't afford to go to college, or start a business, or put my kids in lessons, instead ask yourself, how can I afford it? Then write down ideas as they come to you and see if answers don't come while you sleep, are talking to someone, or just doing some other normal activity during the day. If you give your mind the belief that it isn't possible, your brain will give you more reasons for why that's true. It will literally come up with excuses for you to validate this erroneous belief. While this may give you sympathy from other people as they watch you have one bad break after another, is that really what you want from life? Or would you rather be successful? Number 3, they don't blame others for their problems. This puts the problem as being something outside of your ability to fix. If you see parts of your life as being out of control, then you will become stuck. If you have no control, then you can't change it. Tony Robbins says, when you blame others, you give up your power to change. Get out of the habit of blaming people and instead ask yourself, what part is within your control? And then work to change that. Even if something is someone else's fault, blaming them will just make you more upset, and it will also put you into a passive mode. Take control of what you can and let go of what you can't affect. Number 4, they don't talk about people. They talk about ideas. It seems that people who are in the middle class or lower class sometimes think that the successful people are always judging them. The reality is that most of them, even if they find out your whole story, won't think of it again. They don't have time to judge you because they are so busy of thinking of their next great idea that is going to help them change some aspect of the world. They don't sit around and tell each other stories about all those people who aren't as successful as themselves. They don't waste their time cluttering their minds with useless facts or non-facts about other people's lives. When they get together with other successful people, they talk about ideas, what they want to do, thoughts they have for a new product or a new way of doing something. This is why they are successful. Henry Thomas Buckle says, small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, great minds discuss ideas. Which type of mind are you cultivating? Number 5, they don't let other people's past failures determine whether or not they can succeed. This is something that has always bothered me, and that is that people throw out a statistic about someone's odds of succeeding in their own business, becoming a professional athlete, or having a good marriage. What does the failures of other people who you don't even know have anything to do with whether or not you can achieve what you want to? So what if someone else wasn't persistent enough or talented enough or whatever? What does that have to do with you? Absolutely nothing. Successful people decide what they want and become very focused on accomplishing their goals and dreams. They do not focus on the naysayers or the other people's failures. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Number 6, they don't let others dictate the reality. Reality is whatever we choose to make it. However, some people leave reality up to chance and luck. They decide what they want and then they just give up because they decide that they just can't get it. But successful people, on the other hand, decide what they want and then figure out how to make it a reality, whether it is to send their kids to private schools and hire mentors to take them and their kids to the next level in business, athletics, music, or whatever else they wish to pursue. The masses instead just look around them and believe that because what they see is all they know, that this is just the reality and it can't be changed. It doesn't have to be that way. The masses could change the reality and the reality of future generations. So what if your current situation is that it is hard to make money? Change it and raise your kids to have a different reality. Change your family tree. You can grow whatever you want to on it. If you don't like apples, start producing avocados. While I was on the path to finding my own success, a lot of people would ask me if I was sure that God intended for me to have what I was pursuing. They asked me this because I had failed a number of times. In their minds, the reality was that if it didn't all just fall into place, then it just wasn't meant to be. This is a really radically incorrect way of thinking about things. Sometimes things do fall into place, and you meet all the right people at all the right times, and things are amazing. If things were always that easy, though, then people would never grow and develop. When things do not fall into place, it does not necessarily mean that you are not meant to do that, and that you should give up and go back to your old way of life. This produces mediocrity, and surely God does not approve of people being mediocre and always only taking the easy road. Define what you want your reality to be and then go make it happen. If you don't, chance will define your reality and lifestyle, and that is what you will have. Number 7, they don't leave their entertainment to chance. Successful people do what they do with intention. Nothing is left up to chance, and believe it or not, that includes their entertainment. They don't just sit down each night or all day Sunday and watch TV. They have a purpose for what they do, and they don't just do it mindlessly. This is why people miss out on their dreams. They lose track of large amounts of time due to mindless activities, and soon they realize 5 hours went by. Oh my goodness. For the successful, though, things are scheduled and have a purpose. Do you know why so many rich people play golf? There are a lot of people out there that think golf is boring. However, the rich have discovered that lots of other rich people are on the golf course. So guess what they learn to do? And as they become good at it, they learn to like it. A lot of business deals are made while out on the green. Why golf, you may ask? Why not basketball? Well, think about it. It is a sport you can still do when you're 70, 80, 90. It allows for time to talk, it improves one's ability to strategize, and it is challenging. I told you, everything they do is intentional. While they may occasionally read a novel just for fun, do you know what most of their reading centers on? Personal and professional development. They read books that will make them a better person in some aspect of their lives. Do you know what is interesting about that? Most of those books are pretty entertaining in and of themselves. We get to read about crazy stories from biographies and autobiographies from people's lives and sometimes those are way more entertaining than all those fictional books. Instead of focusing on the radio every time they hop in the car, they listen to talks that are also personal development. They turn their car into a university on wheels. Again, I think if you tried it, you would find that these are entertaining and motivating at the same time. So even their entertainment is meant to make them better. This is why they are better than the average person in so many ways. It is intentional. Number 8, they don't give up easily. This may seem like a no-brainer, but really, they have just as much reason to give up as anyone else when they are first learning a skill or trying something new. The desire to stop is just as strong for them when they aren't succeeding, and especially when they have a lot to lose. However, they choose to keep going. It isn't because they have some superpower that allows them to do this. They have to do it the old-fashioned way. Wait and keep putting one foot in front of the other. Have you ever read Olympic gymnast Mary Lou Retton's book, 7 Gateways to Happiness? Well, in it, she tells much of her story in there. She wanted to give up several times and even came close one of those times. She was pushed to her limits physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it wasn't easy for her, but she kept going and she made the Olympic team. Then she injured her knee just 6 weeks before the Olympics and had to undergo surgery. By this point in time, most people would give up and say, it just wasn't meant to be. But she didn't. Instead, she asked herself how she could still make it work, and then she went about making it happen. In her case, this resulted in her doing 3 months of physical therapy in 6 weeks. Do you think there were days she would have preferred to have rested? Of course. But that wasn't going to get her what she wanted. So she kept going. Her determination is why she won the gold. What things have you given up on that maybe you should reconsider and push a little harder to achieve? Number 9, they don't get ahead by being dishonest. This is contrary to the belief of some people. Some people believe that if someone got to a position of leadership or became rich, then they must have done it dishonestly. They cheated, lied, or hurt someone in the process. This is a very cynical way to go through life, and it will not help you gain your own success. If you believe you have to be dishonest, but you are an honest person, then you'll have a natural aversion toward succeeding, thus sabotaging your own success. Also, if you tend to be a dishonest person who believes that you will get ahead faster, be prepared for some tough times ahead. How often do you see someone who's gone to jail for embezzlement? Sure, there could be some people who've been dishonest and worked their way to the top without getting caught. But what good is being successful if the truly great people in this world don't want to be around you after you succeed because you aren't the type of person they would hang out with anyway? Number 10, they don't sit around and wait. What I mean by this is they don't wait for opportunities to come to them. They go out and find them. And if they can't find them, then they make them. This is why we have so many new products today that were unheard of 5 years ago. This is why some of you will be getting a job in a year from now that doesn't currently exist. Someone is out there creating opportunities. It might as well be you. If you have an idea, instead of just burying it, pursue it. And if you struggle with feeling like you are lacking in opportunities, I encourage you to read Peter B. Kind's book, The Go-Getter. It is designed to help you take initiative and make your own opportunities. It is a must-read for someone looking to be successful. So these are just a few of the many things that you can do to help you get the life you want. Don't try to change every one of them at once. This is something else that successful people don't do. Instead, focus on one or maybe 2 of the items above and start making little steps to changing that aspect of your life. Once you have made that a regular practice, add another thing in there. Soon you'll be on your way to becoming the type of person who can have the life you want and dream about. If you look at them and think, I don't want to do any of those, well then don't expect your life to start to change. Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result each time. I would suspect that some of you are going crazy trying to figure out how to get out of the rat race you are in. So change it. It is a decision. Every one of these things I mentioned is something that is within your control to change. So go make a change and make a difference. Thanks for listening and make it a great day.